Hi guys, this is Neil here with classes tonight for Jiu-Jitsu. We're a little bit early. We're not going to start until our normal time that we always start doing Jiu-Jitsu. It's just we wanted to get on a couple of minutes early in case there's any questions before we actually start going with it. And to see if you've got any queries or anything, we can get you taken care of. What's that, Miss Julie?
Did you log in through the thing?
No, I have not logged in through the thing. I'm sorry. I thought that's not. I misunderstood you. I thought it was just through AMA.
No, I told you to click on the link on the email.
Okay, my bad. All right, I'm working through this stuff just like everybody else
I'm
is
going to
now.
go to your email.
Yeah.
You talk to
All
them.
right.
Make
So,
sure they've logged in.
yeah, make sure that you've logged in. We've got the new smart system that's there, so make sure that you get logged in. That's how we're going to be counting attendance. If there's multiples of you that are actually in there, then you'll be counting your attendance that way as well. The attendance is being counted. This is for Jiu-Jitsu, of course, but everybody is welcome. Love to see all you guys. All right, so give us just a couple of minutes, and we're going to get started.
Tell them that it's only if they're enrolled in the program. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's all.
No, you said love seeing anybody there. They can't go through the
No, I said
university.
only the Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay, so guys, if you are in Jiu-Jitsu and you need to get attendance, you have to go through the email that you got to go directly into this page. Make sure you clicked on it. If you do have multiples in your family, you do get to choose who gets attendance, and it will open right up to the live Facebook page. Everybody else watching, we'd love to have you, as Neil said, but this will give you the automatic attendance. And so thank you for posting that, Ben. We did see that you posted a message during the last class. We'll be checking everything. If you've had some issues with it, let us know that you're on that way so that we can give you the attendance manually, which can't happen until we get all this worked out. But we do want to make sure that you're in through the system the way you're supposed to be in through the system.
All right, guys. So if you will, do me a favor and just go ahead, and if you got your house coats on, you don't got to worry about having the house coat on. Just make sure that you got your belt in your top. That way also, if you've got your gi that you're using as a tackling dummy to train on the side, you can leave your gi set up for that for practicing as well. Tonight we will be working a bit on Soto Gari, actually fairly intensive with that, and be doing a lot of the fall drills.
We have Jennifer and Nathan and Domenico as well as Ben.
Hey Nathan, hey Domenico, hey Ben. Okay, just give me a couple of minutes. They got any questions? If anybody's got any questions, like I said, just go ahead.
Yeah, it's still a little bit right before class.
I don't want to get started too early.
We saw it then, but it was during the advanced adult class, so we go right into this, so we haven't had a chance to do anything with it. We were in those classes, so it will be looked into. I have to go and log in and see what email is actually in your account. If you've got an email, an active email that has it, then that's the main one that's in your account right now, and we can get everything switched out, but can't do that unfortunately while running the class at the same time.
That's my face a little bit crazy, is actually sitting there. Yeah, we're sitting there, we watch the video so that we have, one of us can actually be chiming in while the other's actually teaching. So it's a little bit of a lag there for us, of course, same as everybody else, I'm sure, and try to keep up with everything.
All right. Just about that time.
Almost. Make sure we wait for the time. So we get everybody. We wait until the time just to make sure everybody gets a chance to get on if they want to be on live. If you got pads, go ahead and pull pads out. We're going to start out, instead of doing our running and everything like that, we're going to start out straight into doing fall drills.
I got you, all right?
Can I get your toes?
Yeah.
Can I get your toes? Dang it.
Did you get yours? 'Cause you didn't do it last year.
I misunderstood.
Well, we do that this way all the time. All right, Kristen is here. Hi, Miss Kristen.
Thanks, Kristen. Great class. Thank you very much.
All righty. It is just about that time. Okay, so you ready to bow in?
All right, guys. Let's go ahead and get ready. Everybody come to attention and bow. Ready position. We're going to do student creed tonight. And go.
I will develop myself in a positive manner and avoid anything that could reduce my mental growth or physical health. I will develop self-discipline in order to bring out the best in myself and others. I will use my common sense before self-defense and never be abusive or offensive. This is a black belt school. We are dedicated, we are motivated, we're on a quest to be the best.
Yeah. Alright, so like I said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to, first thing is just going to start out with doing our fall drill. So I want you to just go ahead, just take a seat. Just go ahead and take a seat. For anybody that's not comfortable with falling, we're just going to start out with doing a back fall just from here. So make sure that your chin is tucked into your chest and just falling straight back. And then sitting back up. We'll do this about 10 times or so. Just to get our arms a little bit warmed up. Alright, if you're comfortable with that, what I want you to do is just go ahead and up to your feet into a squatting position. Up to your feet in a squatting position. And then doing the same thing. Chin is tucked in, arms out, and back. Back up, and down.
Moving that pad.
Ah, nope. That pad's moving back a bit much. All right.
I got it.
Good. All right, a couple more times. Now, if you're really comfortable with it and you've got plenty of space, you can do it from a standing position.
Good, Neil.
Notice that when we stand back up afterwards, all the jiu-jitsu people know, hand is up. That way, if you're fighting somebody, one of these awesome karate gals that come out there, you're actually protecting yourself from them coming in and doing a kick on. Just a couple more.
Nice. There you go. All right, you want me to do the next one?
All righty. And Miss Julie, side fall. And take a side, either side. And now Miss Julie's doing the same way. She's getting up the same position. Same position. Nice. Good. One more. And relax. Change it up to the other side. You can do this from a squatting position, just like what I had done. If you're comfortable with that, just that leg and that arm go across. The side that you're going to be falling on, that's the side that that arm and that leg are going to come all the way across. And then you're just going to fall to that same side. When you fall, make sure that your knees are off balance, off center. You don't want to fall with your knees banging together. That hurts. All right? Making sure your chin's tucked in. Notice Miss Julie's doing an amazing job of this. And last one. Go ahead with the side fall. Good. Now then, next thing we're doing is going to be doing a front fall. Front fall. So front fall in this case, I'll actually be doing this, and we're just going to do it from knees. I don't want you to worry about doing it from a standing position. Most people aren't going to be set up for doing that. This one's a bit more painful. So what I want you to do,
Daniel.
hands are up, and you're just going to be keeping your head up now. This time we're not going to be keeping our chin tucked. We're going to keep that head up, and we're going to fall almost like a diamond push-up. So we're just falling, just keeping our body in a generally straight line, and just falling down. And catch yourself on your forearms.
Good job.
And then back up, and fall. Back up, and fall. Just a couple more.
There you go. Nice. Excellent. See how the elbows are nice and tight while Mr. Neal's doing this? That's really important so you don't splay out, which can hurt your shoulders. You want everything nice and tight so that your pressure and your body all hits on a nice surface that's not going to collapse on you.
And relax. And that's going to be it that we'll do actually for our fall drills for right this second. All right. So,
Nice.
everybody get you a drink of water, and come on back. We'll take about 30 seconds.
Good deal. So Ben, it looks like you did get logged in through that email. We will get you updated so the other ones can be on the system as well.
All right. So hopefully everybody's got a drink of water. Next thing we'll be doing is actually be doing our throw. A throw that we'll be doing this time around is going to be Soto Gari. Soto Gari. So it's really important that you have your feet in the right position. More than anything is your feet. So we're going to just step back here a little bit. We're going to go back to the edge of the pad here for us. And what Miss Julie's going to do is she's going to show you that if you have this set up correctly, when you're walking through and getting me off balance, you don't even have to use the legs. You don't even have to do the full throw. That tells you that everything is set up correctly. All right, Miss Julie? notice how all she did was she just walked forward. She had me off balance, and she was just stepping forward and keep on pushing, pushing, pushing. All right, now then, this time we're going to change positions. I'm going to be on the other side. And I'm just going to walk through the same way. I'm going to do it a little bit slower though. So you notice we don't have keys, so what you're going to do is just hands over the neck. You can grab the back of the arm, so you're going to do the same thing to me. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to walk forward. Now notice my front foot. My foot comes back behind her foot. I want to be back behind her foot. Notice how I've got her off balance. I've got her back is actually over her butt. Her butt's actually way far forward. You may not be able to see that from the video. And if I've got her good, I should just be able to step through and just grind right to the ground. So let's do that a couple of times. Just taking turns if you've got a partner. If you don't have a partner, what I want you to do is take a carpet, a piece of carpet or rug or something that you can use to identify a spot on the floor. Identify a spot on the floor. So now if Miss Julie, come on up here. So if Miss Julie, I've got my feet about even with the edge of the carpet. Miss Julie goes without the throw, she's just going to step forward. And notice how her foot is way far forward of where that carpet is. She just used that carpet to tell her, hey, this is how far I want my foot to go, it's past that. And she knows that she has me off balance. So just go ahead, just a couple of times, just stepping forward and setting them off balance. And this is good if you don't have a partner. So just your arms are up as if you're going around their neck and going around their arm. Okay? And just that a couple of times. Just go ahead and using an uke, you want to do it a couple of times and then we'll change it up.
If you don't have an uke, what's really important when you step is to make sure that you keep your hips and shoulders in line. So what we're doing here with the real person is I'm knocking Mr. Neal's shoulders off the line from his hips while I'm keeping mine in line. So my step is not head preceding, just like when you're point sparring or anything like that. I don't leave with my head. It's literally a deep step where my balance is preserved while his is lost. That's how you win that battle for the throw.
Now, if I do it incorrectly, if I'm going in, so Miss Julie's over here, if I go in and I'm stepping real shallow, so go ahead and tie in with me. So I step in real shallow. I don't really have her off balance. I'm way far balanced, just like what she just said. Notice how I'm leaning way far forward. So then when I go to do my Soto Gari, I really can't do it. She could easily just push me right over her leg, reverse it, which is what's called an Soto Gari for another day. All right, so just a couple more times.
So without an uke, just step all the way across, and you want your center straight over where their center is. And you could do it with either leg. So it's basically like doing a front stance practice.
Good. Very nice. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to put the pad back out with this one. This is one, like I said, we need to see if you've got any questions or concerns.
Hi, Will. Hi, Maddie.
If there's anything that you've got, any problems, any issues or worries with that, we want to make sure that you've got this real comfortable. This is a throw that's real important for not just the jiu-jitsu folks, but for the karate folks as well. You see it in a couple of your one-steps and your self-defense pieces. All right. So I'm going to throw Miss Julie. I'm stepping, again, stepping nice, far, and deep. Notice how, like Miss Julie said, my head is up, my back is up. I'm in a good upright posture. I've got her broken down. I've got her off balance. My leg comes up, through, and throw. I'm going to talk about the leg, the kick.
Yep. So when we go through, we're doing the kick. Once I made sure I've got Neal off balance, the whole purpose of the kick is to make sure he's not allowed to step. So when my leg comes through, even if he takes a step back, we should hook and cross legs. What I want to do is then pivot, which then extends the angle of his falling. If you think of it, anything, even if you've got like a small bar or stick or anything that you're making a circle around, if the center is his fulcrum, I pushed off balance on his fulcrum this way. By lifting his leg, I pivot everything to make sure that that fall does happen. So while I could get it with just the top, everything's faster with the second one. So my kick goes all the way through. This is not a foot plant. This is a leap, which means my foot doesn't touch the ground until he touches the ground.
So along those lines with that footwork, what we want to see you do is something along the lines of your kick, a mule kick, if you will. Is that correct terminology, Miss Julie?
Like a
so
back kick.
If you think about when we're chambering, especially for the karate folks, we're chambering, that knee comes way far up. Knee comes up, and then kicking back. And then up, and then back. All right, Miss Julie?
You want to do that drill?
All right, let's do that drill.
Alrighty. So,
Can I do it with you?
of course.
Yay! Do you want me to move this out of your way?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Alright, so basically, and if you've done karate recently, you've seen Jay do this, you're going to step forward with your left foot, pick up your right, and kick straight back. So step, knee, kick.
I'm going to move up. I'm going to kick into our fireplace.
Nice. Step, knee, kick. Step, knee, kick. Alright? So if you're really, really, really new to this, a beginner thing to go through the process of the kick, it's important on the kick portion for the karate side of it. We go through it, our knees bent, we have a point where we're pretty much straight, and then we rebend it again. We don't have to define it so clearly, but what's important on that is if we are in the battle for this and Neil is shifting his foot, if I just keep my knee bent, there is a possibility of him going to the outside of my leg because he brings his knees closer together. So if I straighten, I'm more likely to catch regardless. So if I just do a straight mule kick that doesn't move and my knees stay this far apart only, he may get around my foot. So the purpose of this pulling out, straightening is I'm making a longer line to make sure I catch him no matter what. All right? So step, knee, kick. Beautiful. Step, knee, kick. Now, if you're one of my more advanced people and or you have a partner and you have a good falling surface, we're going to become even more extreme with this. Some of you people who followed judo quite a bit and have a little bit of a background in it, ultimately at some point with a solid Soto Gari, you should basically be a table on one leg. So when I kick through, I'm going to push as much as I also kick. Again, that fulcrum, I'm speeding up the spin on either end of my stick, which happens to be Neil's head at one end and feet at the other end. So when I push a little bit on the shoulder, that speeds the rotation, makes the fall a little bit more dynamic, all right? So if you're a beginner, step, knee, kick. If you're advanced, really work on shoulders and leg going through, all right?
All right. Now then, to take it up just a little bit more, what Miss Julie is saying, she's talking about the step, knee, kick. Now what I want you to do is to step up, knee up, kick, hand down, and then back up. All right? So stepping up, knee up, down, and touch the ground.
Nice.
All right?
Balance,
So what we're doing there is we're actually just stepping up, knee is up as if you're doing a Soto Gari, and hand is down. But in this case right here, this is more of your self-defense piece. All right, so your self-defense piece is predicated off of some of our Goshin Jutsus that we have. And can I do an overhand strike on you?
Yes, sir.
All right, so early in class we actually had our uppercuts, so we're going to go at a little bit of an angle on this. And I'm going to attack Miss Julie with kind of a goofy punch. But I come across, Miss Julie's going to take, she's going to block, she's going to uppercut, which puts my head back, step forward, she's going to grab my throat, and then she's going to execute Soto Gari. And notice how she was actually forward on that one. Now, if you're actually doing that for a self-defense perspective, you're actually bouncing their skull off the sidewalk. Not real good to do when we're actually doing martial arts with our friends, but if you think about while we're doing this from a self-defense perspective, it's actually a really good thing. You want to do a couple of those, Miss Julie? You got a lot better balance tonight.
Up, uppercut, pick up, thrust.
A couple of more times, and then now what I want you to do is add going all the way to the ground. The hands will go all the way to the ground.
Up, uppercut, knee up, thrust.
And like I said, every time when you're going to the ground, what you are is if you grab that throat, you're grabbing the throat of the uke and taking them all the way to the ground.
One more time. Up. See how I shuffle up in my uppercut? That's where I get my foot all the way through, but I'm in that front stance. Everything's balanced. I don't go forward until I've already won the balance game. My knee comes up. Everything's still shoulders over hips. And then I tip. That adds that speed and dynamics, and if we get in a battle over this, I haven't compromised my balance yet.
Make sure that you got both of your knees bent while you're doing this. Knees are bent, shuffling up, keeping both knees bent.
One more time. Up, uppercut, knee up, throat.
Nice, nice, excellent job. So if you've actually been doing this with us, I know we've been kind of tagging off back and forth for Julie and I. I know we're breaking a little bit of a sweat. Hopefully you're keeping up with this, breaking a little bit of a sweat as well. So go ahead and get yourself a drink of water, 2 claps, and come on back out.
All right. All right, do you still need the pad?
No. again, with Soto Gari, we want to make sure that everything is perfect in this. Perfect. So that's what is hard to do. We understand that. It's difficult to do when you have a limited amount of space. Okay? So even if you have your uke, we want to make sure that everything is good. Everything is set. We have no problems, no worries, no issues with that. What I want you to do now is get with an uke if you have an uke. And all I want you to do is going to be to go, you're going to slide up, you're going to get them off balance. But you're not actually going to throw them. Okay? So all we're going to do is we're going to slide up, we're going to get them off balance. So Miss Julie and I are tied in. Again, if you're not used to it, the hand is behind the neck. The arm is actually going to be grabbing the hand's going to be grabbing the arm. I'm just going to slide up, making sure that the body is in an upright position. Leg is up and back. Contact and back up. All right? So again, we tie in, step forward, make sure that they're off balance, slide up and leg, and then step back out. Now then, we're going to kind of goofy foot this a little bit just to get a little bit of exercise on the other leg. So go ahead and switch feet, and we're going to do the same thing. This is a big no-no for a lot of folks, but we're going to do it anyway because it's a lot of fun. So step up, make sure that they're off balance, leg comes up, and kick back. And step back. Feels kind of funny, doesn't it? Step forward, they're off balance, make sure that you got them off balance, leg up, and kick back. All right, so back and forth, back and forth. So now then, I've done mine one side and the other side, and Miss Julie and I are going to do the other side. Now then, what I want you to do is add into this a little bit of swimming as well. So she comes up, she has me off balance, and kicking. Up, again, same thing, off balance, and kicking. And then swim, and change it up. Up, off balance.
Put the other foot forward.
Yep.
There you go.
Off balance, and kicking. Up, off balance, and kicking. And switch it up, my turn. We're kind of swimming in there. So I'm just up, she's off balance, and kicking. Step back, step forward, up, off balance, and kicking. And then change it up. It's the same thing for me. Up, off balance, kicking. And one more. Up, off balance, and kicking. All right, Miss Julie. Up, off balance, kicking. Up, off balance, and kicking. All right, other side. One last time, and go. Up, off balance, kicking. And up, off balance, and kicking. Excellent job, guys. Give your partner a high five. Hopefully, if you haven't been doing this with a partner, you've actually been doing it with the rug. I know that the rug is not quite as much fun. We tried to figure out something else to do. There is absolutely nothing that exists other than if you got one of these big old tackling dummies. Got a big old tackling dummy, hats off to you.
Nice.
All right. So other than that, it's just going to be the rug. Going to be the rug. And I'll let Miss Julie go back one more time with that one.
All right. Normally, you're going to have your right foot forward. You're going to step left, kick, come back. Step left, kick, come back. Swap feet. Step right, kick, come back. Step right, kick, come back. Swap. Now, if you want to practice the swimming on this, all right? If you're normally in a traditional stance, and I'm going to do it facing or sideways, we would have our right foot forward, right hand in their gi, left hand at their elbow. That swimming is I'm going to take my hand, left hand from underneath the elbow and swim up to the back of their collar when I change my legs, all right? And then you step, same thing. Oops. Swim up, change feet, step, kick, step, kick. Swim, change feet, step. I don't want to step to that side. That is not my dominant side on this. Kick, beautiful. Swim up, change feet, step, kick.
Oh,
All right,
that's
my
good.
brain is broken.
All right.
Yes.
All righty. So.
A preview for Wednesday's class.
Yes. All right. So I think that if you don't have Soto Gari, let us know. We'll work with you on it. But I think that that should be a pretty good primer for Soto Gari. The next thing we need is actually going to be a choke. And the choke is actually called a guillotine choke. Guillotine choke is beautiful. We're actually wanting to do it without the gis because it's a lot easier to see where the hands and the arms are. A guillotine choke is just, we're actually kind of tied in here. My hand's going to come up around the back of the neck, up and around the back of the neck. Okay? Then all I'm going to do is I'm going to swim my hand up and inside of her neck. I'm just giving a little bit of distance so you can see where my hand is. I'm going to take and grab my hand. I'm going to pull in. I'm going to straighten my back up and squeeze until they tap. That's a guillotine choke.
That's that swimming we were talking about. So getting ready for Wednesday's class, if you, on this case, my hand is around his neck. I've got to swim under his neck and come to the inside to go around. But that same concept, moving nice and small and smooth, allows that to happen. So if I was already here, he's holding onto my elbow in the hopes that as I come down, he gets control and I never have an opportunity to come back up. But if I'm nice and smooth, I get back up before he gets control of that. So it's all really smooth. And same thing on this side. So as soon as he moves, I want to be controlling that elbow and preventing him from having that option to come back up. So that could be a little game that you can play. And then if he gets this inside, I want to swim inside and not let the arm come in. And we want to control that inside movement. So getting ready for Wednesday, let's play a little bit of a swimming game. If you don't have an uke, you can still do this on the buddy we made or with a pad or just pretend. You can even take one of a tie with shield and literally just, especially one of these nice curved ones, go from here to here. But make sure you come down. At some point your hand is flat on the mat. That would represent that you are coming down below the neck. So come from elbow in the center, hand down, slide up to the other corner. Moving that all the way nice and across.
Take a look at the videos that we posted on how to actually make a tackling dummy, for lack of a better way of putting it. It actually is, it's pretty nice. So one more time for the guillotine choke, Miss Julie comes up and around the neck. She's going to come up and around back of my neck. The hand comes up underneath my neck. Make sure that you don't come way up and far in front of the face because I just tuck my chin down. She wants to come under my chin, so preventing me from taking my chin back down. Her other hand's going to come, interlock her hand. She's going to straighten her back, and I'm going to tap. And that's all there is to the guillotine choke. Now this is actually going to be done from multiple positions. We're doing it from standing just so it's a lot easier for you to see. On Wednesday when we do it, we'll actually do it from the ground as well, and we will have the gis on, so it makes it a little bit more challenging if you're actually with an uke. A little bit more difficult to see. That's why we wanted to get this out there right now.
All right. I do have one more thing. Back to now that our brains have stopped a little bit from the Soto Gari. Something you can work on that can be nice and solo. Soto Gari is a family of throws, the Sotos. There's Soto Gari, which means major outer reef, which means I step to the outside of my leg is taking the outside of Neil's leg. There's Soto Gari, which means the inside, my other leg is taking the outside of Neil's leg, and so I do that. There's Uchi Gari, which means the outside of my leg is taking the inside of Neil's other leg, which means I come up and go there. And then there's Uchi Gari, which means we're facing each other, and I take my front leg to his front leg. So you're doing this drill with the small area of your rug or marks on your floor. You can do a solo drill with this. So that means you step and kick. Come back and turn and pivot. Remember our Sasai Suri Kamiyashi, Uchi Gari works that same way. Step and reap, step and reap. And if you work your way across, you are thinking of outside of their leg, their inside leg, and you've moved around a little bit and you're thinking your process. Now if you notice, this one's bigger on the outside and they get a little bit smaller on the inside because if I'm coming in between Neil's legs, my legs don't have quite as much space to move. But the concept is the same. And you want to have your balance. So step, get big, step and turn, step, small, and just work your way across your mat. And
I know this is not country line dancing.
You can go the other way. So, step big, step smaller. Ooh, step big. Not my good side. Let me walk through that one again. I'm sorry, you can tell I haven't done that on that side for a little bit. Step big, step smaller, step small, step small. That pivot on that last one is going to be nice and huge. Most of my jiu-jitsu students have done all of these throws at one time or another, so you can think of some of them. For the karate people, depends on how long you've been around. Soto Gari, old fork from the side, and Gari unsuit. You do it in unsuit.
All right, guys. So hopefully that gives you a lot to think about with our class, with the Soto Gari. So Soto Gari, don't forget Soto Gari. The reversal of Soto Gari is just when you're uki. If you do a poor Soto Gari on them, is Soto Gaishi. Is Soto Gaishi, right? So if Julie comes in and she tries to do an Soto Gari, but knows she doesn't have me off balance, all I'm gonna do is gonna take her off because she's actually already off balance when she tried to throw me. And which was very nice of her. She gave me a nice little gift there, and I greatly appreciate that. Okay? So that's about all that we have for you today. We're going to stay on for just a couple of minutes. If you've got any questions or concerns, please just let us know, and we'll get you taken care of. Miss Julie, anything else?
Please let us know, as Ben did, if the email didn't go to the one you want it to be primary. We'll be doing some updates on that to make sure you guys get the attendance. Attendance for last week. Where anything that you join on straight live, we can do manually. You can send it to us. If you watch these videos in the archive, we will have to do manual attendance, but we will give you attendance. You just have to make sure that we are aware that you've done it. If you came through the email today, the system is supposed to be giving you attendance, and we'll be checking to make sure all that happened tonight and everything went nice and smoothly. So thank you guys so much for working with us as we made those adaptations as we've been out of the regular classes. We've really enjoyed doing this, and we hope it continues to be beneficial to you as we're working on getting back to having in-person classes. Again, thank you. We'll bow and take a few minutes to see if you guys have any questions.
You take care.
Your keys.
She turned it off. No.